Hello, YouTube. How are you guys? Happy New Year. As promised, you know what? As I promised to myself, I am back again today. I just made a video and posted it yesterday, and now I'm back again today. And who knows? Maybe 2025 is the year I'll do nearly daily YouTubes. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It hasn't really gone the way I planned so far. So I'm just going to do like I do with almost everything else and just kind of let it evolve day by day. It's how I teach my yoga classes. I can't plan too far ahead because then I rebel against it. Anyway, my nature is to just be a leaf in the wind and see where things take me. So I was just spending some time writing out my New Year's resolutions for this year, which I didn't do last year, which is actually kind of, I don't know, telling or something. It was quite a year. It was not at all what I expected. Um, and I remember just thinking, gosh, I didn't set any goals. And the year before, I wanted to read 2 books a month, and I did do that. And then last year, I don't know. Anyway, last year just didn't go as planned, but it did feel like, as I said to a friend of mine, a big wisdom download. Like I feel like I learned a lot from last year in ways that were sometimes extremely painful. And anyway, here we are, 2025, and I just wrote out, I think it's probably going to be the list of my intentions for the year. And I remember doing this, a long time ago, like I bet you it was in the 90s. I did this list of resolutions, I still called them back then. And my resolutions were for all the different sort of categories in my life, all the different, personal development and whatever. I don't know. What I noticed as I wrote this out is I didn't do anything regarding health or fitness. Well, nothing regarding eating and exercising, which, are always in the goal category, but I just left that out this year. I didn't focus on that. I will say I'm trying to learn how to eat for fuel to nourish my body because I love junk food and I'm trying to get away from it and processed food. I'm finding that I'm getting more sensitive, and when I don't treat my body nicely, it does come back to bite me. So I'm trying to eat good foods. I have a list over on the fridge. I even cleaned the doors of the fridge yesterday. I wiped them down. I took everything off. I rearranged all the magnets. I put up the new calendar without revealing January until this morning. And what else do I have over there? We have a bunch of pictures. My beloved banana bread recipe that I have had since, I don't know, 20 years, not that long, but I bet you it's definitely more than 15 years. I wrote out this banana bread recipe from the Tyler Florence. It's a Tyler Florence recipe. I wrote it out from the internet and I have been using that. It survived a huge move. Anyway, so that's all cleaned up, and I'm just trying to like clean everything around me. I've done a pretty good job because I've had time off through the holidays of cleaning the house and everything. So it's not exactly where I want it to be now, but one of my focuses on in this list is to have one little project a day, something that feels meaningful. Like yesterday, I didn't have a ton of energy to do a big project, so I just like did this really great job and cleaned off my night table, and I just dusted it and took off all the stuff I didn't need. I had so many books, and just that clutter doesn't help me get a good night's sleep. So that feel like I'm trying to do things that feel impactful in that way, so that when I see the fridge, oh, it looks so nice. I cleaned the bathroom really well. Oh, it looks so great. And then that encourages me to keep going on a little project a day. Which brings me to my reading goals for this year. And it's funny, I don't know if it's just because of this channel and how it's morphed into this booktube thing, but I do have the category thing again this year. So I have books and reading, self-improvement, yoga professional. And I want to do a monthly plan. So yeah, I have an overall plan for the year, which isn't totally defined yet at this point, but it's getting there. But I want to work on things monthly. I'm much better in small pockets of time. So, a monthly plan that gets broken down into a weekly plan. So that's for my personal life and my career as a yoga teacher, which really weave in and out of each other. And then it's some other personal interests, and I hope that this is the year that I really get much better at being a tidy person, which I am very cluttered, and I tend to be quite cluttered and a little crazy when it comes to keeping things clean. So I'm going to try to do a better job of that too. But anyway, I started to say all that because my list of things underneath books and reading is like 3 times the amount of any of the other categories. So I don't know. I'm really leaning into this reading thing again as I'm finding that it brings me so much joy. Like it's really nourishing my soul. And I want to again say thank you to the people who've inspired me on YouTube. I mentioned 3 of them yesterday. I thought I'd mention one more, another channel that has been encouraging to me. I don't engage with that channel as much. It's called Palabras de Lector, I think, and it's a gentleman out of Madrid. And I speak Spanish. I tend to speak Spanish spoken by Mexican folks more because that's my life. But originally, when I started learning Spanish, I was really interested in Spain, which is kind of funny because since I've done my 23andMe, I found out that I actually have a higher percentage of Spanish DNA than Mexican DNA, even though my Mexican is the most recent because my grandparents, although they were born in the States, they were Mexican. Their parents were born in Mexico. So I always felt way more tied. I always felt like I was Mexican, well, half on my dad's side. But now I find out that I'm actually almost twice as much Spanish. And Palabras de Lector, he's from Madrid, I think. And the Spanish accent and the way they speak Spanish is so lovely to me. I also like the Argentinian accent, but Spanish people have such an exceptional way of speaking Spanish. I don't even know how to describe it. It's much softer, but it's just extremely, what's the word I'm looking for? It's so singular. The way they speak their S's, and of course the soft soft C and Z with the lisp. Anyway, I don't want to lose my ability to understand Spanish. So I like to listen to him, although I will admit I probably get about maybe not quite half of what he's saying. Sometimes I get most of it, but sometimes I get really lost. So, and I originally started watching some booktubes, that people would just like scarf down their books. Like, I mean, all these people that I mentioned before, with the exception of Fran, she's a graphic artist. So the book thing is kind of a subcategory in my interest in her channel and my involvement in her Patreon. And I'm going to talk about her in a moment when I meant talk about this book by Mary Shelley, which I better get to because I'm getting up to 8 minutes on my 10-minute video. Anyway, I have watched some people who really gobble down books, and I think it was giving me anxiety because I was feeling like I had to match up. And I will say that the other people that I'm watching more recently, they tend to be, at least they read a lot, but it's a little bit more thoughtful, I guess. I don't know, maybe because 2 of them were English teachers at one point, so it feels a little, I don't know, more scholarly to me or something. Who knows? So I mentioned in my video yesterday that this is my new notebook for 2025. I'm going to write down all the books that I read. I'm not going to do any reviews or anything in this. It's just for me to keep track. We'll see what I end up writing about it. But anyway, it's all going to go in here. And hopefully I keep a reading diary now for the rest of my life. I'm going to work on finishing this. I'm really close to finishing. I think I have about 70 pages left of The Witch's Heart. And so I'm very much enjoying that. I've talked about that. Let me mention this book before I run out of time. This is the book I'm reading for the book club for Fran, who I mentioned yesterday. I read over the summer, Breasts and Eggs was her book club choice last time. And I didn't love the book, but I loved participating in the book club. So this one is not my kind of book really so far, at least I don't think so. The Last Man ends in 2100 as we start 2025, the last year of the world. A devastating plague has wiped out humanity except for one man. This novel of horror, originally published in 1826, was rejected in its time and out of print from 1833 to 1965 when the first Bison Book edition appeared. Some critics now rate The Last Man more highly than Frankenstein by the same author. So it seems like it has the potential, I think, to be kind of freak me out and be a little dystopian, but we'll see. I mean, a good book is a good book, right? And that's what I always tell my husband about movies is it's not always, it's just if it's a good movie and well acted, then I'm probably going to like it, even if I don't love the material. So this is what I need to get cracking on because I think Fran's going to do her book club meetup in early February. And based on the length of this book and the size of the type, I got to get cooking on it. So that's next on my agenda. And I think that's where I'll leave off the video for today. I have so many ideas for videos, but I end up just chatting with you guys, which was the original intent of this channel. So all good. All right, everybody. I hope your year's off to a good start, and I look forward to seeing you soon, maybe even tomorrow. We'll see where this all goes. Thanks a lot. My name is Holly, and if you aren't already subscribed, I really hope you'll come back and maybe even consider subscribing and commenting. See you next time. Bye for now.